Hello, it's Saturday the 11th of April. You're tuned in to our late night newscast coming to you from Arirang's news centre in Seoul. It's very good to have you with us. I'm Mark Broome. Our top story tonight, President Park Geun-hye has joined the long list of world leaders who have declined Russia's invitation to attend a World War II anniversary event in Moscow next month. The Foreign Ministry says a member of the ruling party will represent South Korea instead. Kwon Soa starts us off.
South Korea will send a special envoy from the ruling Saenuri Party to Moscow next month for Russia's ceremony marking the 70th anniversary of the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. In a clear indication, President Park Geun-hye will not be attending. Seoul's foreign ministry said on Saturday that Yoon Sang-hyun will be South Korea's representative at the May 9th event. The ministry says Yoon's attendance will boost South Korea-Russia relations, as this year marks the 25th anniversary of their bilateral ties. However, some watchers have expressed disappointment over the decision. They say that if President Park had decided to go, she could have seen North Korean leader Kim Jong-un at the event, as the Kremlin has confirmed Kim's attendance.
I think it's a shame President Park won't be travelling to Russia. It would have been a good opportunity for the two Koreas to come in close contact at the highest level. But the ruling party representative's visit is significant too, as it could help improve inter-Korean relations.
Pundits say Russia's involvement in the Ukraine crisis likely played a big role in Seoul's decision. Russia is subject to international sanctions for its actions in Ukraine, and most Western leaders, including U.S. President Barack Obama and German Chancellor Angela Merkel, turned down invitations to the anniversary event. Kwon Soa, Arirang News.
A former U.S. ambassador to South Korea says he once recommended the U.S. government invite Kim Jong-un to the United States for an orientation trip while his father Kim Jong-il was still in power. Speaking to reporters about his new memoir, Donald Gregg said the US dropped the ball rejecting his idea, as they would have had the chance to shape Kim Jong-un's feelings towards the US in a more positive way, especially considering that he's likely to be North Korea's leader for a very long time. Gregg was also highly critical of US policy on North Korea under the Obama and George W. Bush administrations. Slamming Obama, Gregg said the US leader has never had anyone close to him who understands what's going on in North Korea. The former ambassador added that he can't see the chilly ties between the two countries improving anytime soon. An investigation into allegations 8 politicians took bribes from a businessman who committed suicide earlier this week is in full swing. The names were written on a note found in the pocket of former Gyeongnam Enterprises chairman Song Wan-jong. Prosecutors have requested the handwriting be analysed to find out if the note was genuinely written by Song before he took his own life. They have also submitted 2 of Song's cell phones to a forensic centre to gather more evidence about his call history and previous phone conversations in the hope that they shed more light on the case. So far, no one has publicly admitted to receiving any illicit money from the businessman. On Saturday, ruling Saenuri Party lawmaker Hong Moon-jong held a press conference denying claims he was given some $180,000 US and said he will resign from his post if it was found to be true. Korea is now a founding member of the new China-led Regional Development Bank. China's finance ministry says Korea's membership to the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank was approved on Saturday by existing members, including China, Britain and France. Spain and Austria were also confirmed as founding members on Saturday, bringing the current number of founding member nations to 41. Korea applied to join the AIIB late last month. The bank, which will be used to fund infrastructure projects in Asia, is expected to start operations by the end of this year, with total funds of around $100 billion US. The Korean economy could be looking very different in 2030 if the US Department of Agriculture's latest macroeconomic projections are anything to go by. The report released on Friday says that in 15 years' time, Korea will be the 14th largest economy in the world, with the nation's GDP growth rate edging down quite a bit from around 4% now to just over 2% in 2030. The report also suggests that Korea's GDP growth rate could slow even further after 2030, dropping down into the 1% range. Now, this report also says the United States will be far less dominant, with China almost entirely closing its gap with the US. Several emerging markets, including India and Brazil, will become major global players as well. Now, for many young job seekers in Korea, getting hired by a big, recognizable company is the #1 goal. And this weekend, thousands are trying to land that dream job by taking aptitude tests for Samsung and Hyundai, two of the biggest companies in Korea. And this year, in addition to studying up on the usual topics, applicants face a challenging section on Korean history. Our Park Se-young has the details.
Which Korean historical figure do you look up to the most, and why? That's an example of one of the questions applicants will have to answer this weekend. Recently, Korean conglomerates have started looking for new employees with a deeper understanding of Korean history. This year, Samsung's test will include about 15 history questions, and Hyundai's includes a history essay. They want candidates to demonstrate their knowledge in both aptitude tests and interviews, and expect the historical section to reveal the applicant's creativity. The tests are just the first step in a long process to landing a corporate job. Samsung's aptitude test is held twice a year to hire about 8,000 new employees for its 30 affiliates. Last year, some 200,000 hopefuls took the test in over 80 venues across Korea and 3 in North America. But now Samsung is looking to reduce the number of applicants as well as the cost of testing them. On the next round of tests in the fall, the company will filter applicants by screening resumes, a move that's considered to shift the focus to skills and experience. Until now, anyone with a GPA over 3.0 and an English-speaking test score could take the test. Park Se-young, Arirang News.
US President Barack Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro are due to hold substantive talks at the Summit of the Americas in Panama City. The meeting will be the first top-level negotiations between the US and Cuba for more than 50 years. The two leaders met briefly at the summit's opening ceremony on Friday, shaking hands, as you can see there, in a symbolically charged gesture. Relations between the US and Cuba have been thawing since late last year. Now, Obama told the other leaders at the summit on Friday that his country no longer seeks to impose its will on Latin America. Political and business leaders from across North and South America are in Panama to discuss, among other things, trade in the region. Now, we all know that smoking is really not good for your health at all. But a new survey shows that lighting up could also put smokers at higher risk of getting diabetes. Oh Jin-ju has the details.
It's a well-known fact that smoking is one of the major risk factors for various types of cancer. But a recent study shows that smoking also increases the risk of diabetes. The Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention conducted a survey from 2001 to 2014 on some 7,800 people aged 40 and older living in Gyeonggi-do Province. And statistics show those who smoke more than 1 pack a day are 1.5 times more at risk of getting diabetes than non-smokers. For female smokers, the risk is even higher. Men who smoked more than 20 cigarettes a day were 45% more at risk of getting the condition than non-smokers. Women had nearly 2 times more of a chance of having the disease. Even those who've stubbed out cigarettes for good, they too had a higher chance of getting diabetes by 30% compared to those who've never lit up.
It's widely known that smoking raises the insulin level. Many conditions caused by smoking could develop into other complications, resulting in diabetes.
Officials at the Disease Control Center say the study is significant because it compiled data on ordinary smokers for more than a decade in the same local community, providing proof of the correlation between smoking and diabetes. They add that in line with the government's push to curb smoking, the findings should be used to raise awareness that smoking is one of the major factors causing diabetes, among many other life-threatening diseases. Oh Jin-ju, Arirang News.
Now, before we go, leaving you with a brief look at the weekend weather, and it has been a glorious spring day here in Seoul with highs reaching the low 20s under plenty of sunshine. Sunday is going to be another nice day under cloudier skies than Saturday, but the high will still hit a very pleasant 21 degrees Celsius in the capital. Also, if you're planning on checking out the cherry blossoms, Sunday would be the best day as rain is in the forecast from Monday. For our viewers around the world now, let's take a look at the global weather conditions. Well, those are the stories we've been following on this Saturday night in Seoul. For more of the latest, don't forget to check out our website, arirang.co.kr/news, and do download our smartphone application. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.